Alrighty guys, we're back at one of the spots. There's zero swell out there today, so we're gonna head out towards the surf break and hopefully dive this untouched reef, look for some lobsters, maybe get a dinner. I know there's gonna be some Spanish, but hopefully we get lucky and find a spiny or two. Looking forward to this dive. So just waiting on a buddy here. Once he gets here, we're gonna head on out, suit up, and hopefully get some dinner. Welcome back underwater, everyone. We are swimming out to the reef here. On our way out, I didn't have the GoPro running, but I was able to grab this little Spanish lobster. She's a female, as you can see underneath of her tail there. Those are all of her eggs. Down here in the Virgin Islands, we are not allowed to use spear guns or sling spears or anything, so it's snare and hand grabbing only. This protects them because you're able to tell after you catch them whether they're a female with eggs or not. So all the ones with eggs, they have to go back. I try to stay away from females in general, but here we're just letting her go back into her hole where she can keep doing her thing. This next clip here, I forgot to hit record on my GoPro, but I was able to manage snaring a lionfish. These guys are very invasive and very venomous. Correct me if I'm wrong, I believe they have 9 venomous spikes on their body. That being said, Jake touching it, not a great idea. We were trying to figure out how to shove him in this blue bag. Once we couldn't do that and figured it was probably a bad idea, we decided a plan B. That was going to be swim down to the bottom, grab like anything that I could on the bottom that was kind of sharp, and put him out of his misery. We decided to tuck him underneath of a rock in the hopes of coming back and finding him later. But when we came back to do a body search, he was no longer there. Leads me to believe that something probably ate him, which is great. But this next dive here is actually pretty interesting. This reef was really, really lively. There's a lot of bugs crawling around underneath. But I go down here, I'm looking, I immediately see some Spanish lobster. But right there, it's kind of hard to see, but there's actually a slipper lobster that's sitting in that hole. I will come back for him later. I ended up seeing him after this dive, but trying to work these guys out, ended up managing to snare one, but he snuck away. So then this next dive, Jake and I both go back down, and you can just watch and see what happens. There was another Spanish in there, and then I saw him in the back, and I was like, no way. I was pretty stoked on this guy. Slipper lobsters are pretty hard to find, so when you do find them, you want to take them. This guy was a male, so I felt good about taking him. They don't really have too much self-defense mechanisms, just camouflage in the reef, and pretty much an armor plate on the back, so it makes it kind of hard for other animals to eat them. But here I'm going back down, still looking for Spanish, for spiny, anything that's moving around. Off the screen a little bit here, there's a Spanish that I go into snare. Caribbeans. I'm gonna go down with you. Give me a sec. This one was actually a female. Didn't really catch it right away. I wasn't really focused on her. But swam back down, grabbed this bag, ended up putting her in it. Later, I did let her go once I took another look at her. But in the spur of the moment, I was so fired up about these spiny lobsters hanging around that I just wanted to get her into the bag and focus on these lobsters. So I'm just kind of doing a little circle, kind of saw their antennas hanging out, but went back up to the surface to reconvene, catch my breath, and talk it over with Jake.
There's like 3 or 4. I don't know what size, how big they are. They might be a little small, but you want first swing? Soft shell. Huh? It's a soft shell. Legal? Yeah, I mean it's legal, but I think that's a female. CD? Yeah. But feel her. I don't want to kill her. Feel her shell. Oh yeah. Oh wow. She's molten or what? I think.
I didn't have this on video, but we decided to let her go. Put her down in the same hole, and she ended up crawling out. You'll see her in a second. She's just walking along the ocean floor. But I'm gonna go down, make sure she's all right, and continue on.
There's some Spanish down there too. I couldn't take her. I felt bad. She was legal, but I was more worried I was gonna kill her by holding on to her. Another female.
Got 5.
On this dive, I was working on this lobster right here. Kept eluding me. I was trying to pull him out and he would swim through. Just kind of gave up on him and continued working my way around, shining the light in the holes. Then turned around and I look over, Jake's pulling out one with a snare, and I'm guessing again, it's probably a female. And yep, there are the eggs.
Another pregnant one. So many of them. No wonder there's so many Spanish out here, they're all pregnant.
We continued on down this little ledge here, and I stumbled upon this little hole. Shined my light in there, immediately saw a bunch of antennas, a bunch of little Spanish kind of hiding around in different areas on the ceiling, behind little crevices. But I had my eye on this one, kind of stuck my snare up towards him, and he kind of just swam straight through it. So then I kind of was reaching in the back there, trying to figure out how to get all the way in there, but started losing my breath, so wanted to go back up and just settle back up, get some more air, and call Jake over and see if we couldn't get one of these guys out.
Yeah. There's like 8 Spanish over here. There's so many Spanish over here. I'm gonna go down and grab one real quick. I don't need it for these ones. There's 2 I saw that were kind of like out in the open. Caribbean. I don't know how big he is. I saw him deeper now. You wanna go at him? You can go if you want.
We're working on this spiny lobster that I found. He was decent sized, definitely a keeper. Not sure if he was a male or not, but this was our best opportunity right here. You can barely just see his tail sticking out, but Jake went for the grab, kind of stirred it up under there, so we had to give it some time, but didn't end up recovering him. He just kind of tucked himself way back in there.
He was decent. Yeah, he was decent. Still in there? I don't know, I couldn't see it all, just kind of clouded up.
Once again, thought I was recording, must have clicked it off, but I got this pregnant slipper lobster here and the Spanish lobster on the same dive. I went down into this little hole, I snared the Spanish, and once he started kicking around, I saw this slipper moving in the back, so I just grabbed her and came up. But the Spanish will keep, the slipper's going back down, but pretty cool grabbing 2 in one dive. Shortly after, my GoPro died, but we ended with 2 Spanish and a slipper lobster. All of them were males. And just went back to the house, and you'll watch me start to clean them up, and then I'll just show you what we made at the end. But thank you guys for watching. Appreciate all the support, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Alrighty guys, just got back. GoPro died towards the end, but got 1 Spanish, 2 Spanish, slipper. So this is the slipper lobster. I use these right here, kind of dig and bury under the sand. Shovel nose, but pretty pretty. Like these little guys here. That's all meat down in here. They're prehistoric pretty much, but blend in with the reef. We missed a few others, but good day. Just left with beautiful white meat.